Welcome to Hermit Woods, where there's a story in every bottle.
Cheers! You know, we don't have our glasses on.
Is it safe?
I think it's safe now.
Just don't look at the sun. It's no more safe now than it was a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to another Monday night. Sorry we missed you last night. It was, or last Monday. It was unfortunate. Ken ended up falling ill on that Monday, and it made better sense for us to postpone the show.
Better now.
Better now.
Better now.
Strong.
I don't know about that, but better anyway.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Let us know if you're joining us today, what you're drinking. I see Christine's with us today. Hi, Christine. Nice to see you again. And for anybody new to the show, a couple things we wanted to let you know. If you are joining us for the very first time on Facebook or YouTube, we'd love it if you subscribe to our channel. On YouTube, you can subscribe right below me. There's a subscribe button. And on Facebook, there's a little bell. If you hit that bell, you'll subscribe to our Facebook channel. Subscribing just means you'll get notified if we go live, which is almost every Monday night, and then occasionally from some other far corner of the planet, depending on what we're doing or where we're going. So we'd love it if you'd join the fun with us. If you know somebody who, or if you're enjoying the broadcast, please like them either now or at the end of the show. And if you know people that you think would appreciate what we're having to talk about here, share these broadcasts with your friends and family, and let other people know what we're doing. And I think that covers. Oh, and if you're here today, please make note in the comments. Say hello so that we know you're here in the comment section of either YouTube or Facebook, and then we'll know you're here. And if you have any questions, ask questions in those comment sections too, and we'll do the best we can to share your questions with or share your answers with everybody live. If we don't get to your questions live, we try our best to get to them after the show's over. And that's it. Dope.
Yeah.
What are we here for today?
Aurora.
Aurora. This is a big occasion.
Just an hour ago, we got to watch that sun disappear and everything get
dark.
Interesting color. It wasn't even dark, really. It was just a different color. Everything was sort of subdued, and it was really fascinating. It got a little cooler.
It was, yeah. It was. It was dark, especially in the winery. Did you go into the winery?
Yeah,
yeah.
It was dark.
It was really dark in the winery because of the tinted windows, and and we were at 97%, so I don't even know what it was like under the total.
Right, it got to that little sliver, and that little sliver moved around.
Yeah.
Basically, it looked like it moved around as the moon went across.
And I got a time lapse of it, so I'm going to share that. I'm going to have to cut it a little bit because it's really long, and most of it didn't come out. But the final eclipse for the final 2 minutes or whatever came out really cool. It shows the sliver moving around the sun. So I hope all of you were out there enjoying the eclipse and were safely wearing your eclipse glasses. I assume there's probably some of you still either traveling back from or still experiencing your eclipse experience and may not be able to join us for that reason. But we had a lot of things evolving around this eclipse. We started planning for this eclipse a year ago.
Yep. And I didn't know it, but I was planning for it 2 years ago when I made this wine.
You know, and I did some research because you named that wine Aurora.
Right.
And you named that wine Aurora before the eclipse.
Right, because it was named for the berry.
Named for the berry.
Right, the variety of honeyberry.
So I did some research to try and I figured if we're going to talk about this wine and why we chose
Look
this
up the
wine
word Aurora
as the
for
release.
like Aurora Borealis. And
So Aurora is Aurora Borealis.
Yeah.
And it turns out that the Aurora Borealis is affected quite a bit by the eclipse.
Oh, I bet.
So there is a strong likelihood that people who never get to see the Aurora Borealis because of the wrong latitude, are going to get to see it tonight.
Really?
Yeah, if the conditions are clear enough, there's enough disruption in the aurora borealis by the eclipse to actually cause it to come a little further south.
Oh, good. I'll have to look for that tonight.
Look for it. You may see it, you may not. There wasn't a lot of, there was a lot of science in the discussion about why it was that way, and I read it, but I wouldn't be able to convey that back to you. But I thought it was really interesting that we're releasing a wine called Aurora, and there really is truly a connection between that word and name.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, no, it worked out great. I didn't know about the eclipse coming out. I discovered this variety of honeyberry 4 years ago when Ben Chaba was the grower in Sandwich here, was telling me that the honeyberries that I was buying from him were a blend of different varieties. And he was telling me about the different varieties, and I said, well, that's great. I'd love to be able to try fermenting the different varieties to see if they bring a different character to the glass. And he was able to isolate some of the Aurora as well as a, I think it's called blue something, blue flash or something. There's another honeyberry. And I made separate wines, and this one was so much more wine-like. It had a real vinous character to it.
Vinous.
Yes.
I like that word.
Yes, I looked that up this morning because I used that word this morning with Maya, and I was telling her about this, how vinous this was, and she's like, "Is that a word?" Yeah. So I looked it up, and yes, it is. And it pertains to wine being wine-like, and
I do know a sense of viniousness. Is that
viniousness. I don't know if it goes that far.
Stretch?
Yeah, that's stretching. But anyway, so he was able, and he's expanded his plantings of Aurora for us. And unfortunately, that's been fraught with issues with birds and with bears.
His whole crop.
His crop getting decimated by these
I bet the bears and the birds just love these things.
They love them, just like we do when they come
Yeah,
in.
they're very delicious.
He picks them at peak ripeness and then deep freezes them, and then we get them all at once when I'm ready with the fermenters, and they're like candy. They're like, tangy, sweet, dark. They stain your fingers. They stain your teeth.
What's the
but you're
Brix like?
smiling. They're like 12 or something.
Really?
like that.
Because they taste so sweet.
Yeah, they're not that high.
Even with the tartness, they
Yeah.
taste sweet. So
Yeah.
it's amazing.
I know, it's really. Anyway, they're a great fruit, and so back in 2022, I was able to get enough of the Aurora to experiment with it, primarily on its own. So I fermented the Aurora berry, and I wanted to do it with honey. So this is a mead, so it's 100% honey. It's a mellow melt.
Yeah.
So it's 100% honey with the Aurora berries, and I did the fermentation a little different because I wanted to learn about when I add honey periodically during the fermentation, or I added all the honey at once at the front.
Right.
To see if there's any difference. So I got to explore. That's what I did with this. And then in the end, I blended them all, the 4 different carboys that I had, into my favorite little 20-gallon barrel. And this one in that 20-gallon barrel. To top it up, I used some of my, actually it was I call it blue. It's a high concentrated blueberry wine that I use to blend and nuance some of my wines.
That was the
like
wine that we
Hermit
came up after our Napa trip, right?
That was after the Napa trip.
Yeah.
And I've been working on that, trying to craft something that works. But when I try to grab and build a Cabernet type of depth and intensity, I just get more sourness.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work.
Right.
The blueberry doesn't have it.
Yeah.
But it's been great experimenting and understanding a little bit more about how blueberries work and the rest of it. So the barrel got topped up with some blueberry. So this got some blueberry in it as well. So it's kind of like our Northern Berry Red, but it's a little more vinous, and it has a nice richness to it. It is dry. So it gives you a nice sense. We did an experiment yesterday. We were pouring this wine. This was our official release was yesterday of Aurora. And before our performance last night in the loft, our pre-eclipse party with CATWOLF playing here, I poured a chilled version of Aurora and a tasting room temperature
What did
of
you
Aurora.
decide?
It was about 50-50 of the customers that liked it cold, and half of them liked it warm.
What did you like it?
I liked it
warm.
I wanted it a little bit cooler than
Warm, room temperature.
warm. So I poured myself some of the cold one and then warmed it up in my hands and kept tasting it. And there was a point, it was roughly between, it's probably about 63 degrees, 60 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Seemed to be a really nice temperature for it.
Well, this
When
is
it was real cold, it was too sharp, center of the tongue type of thing. It brought out some of the fruit, but it lost some of the soft roundness that I got when it was at full temp. But I wanted to do that as in a bigger concept for customers who came in to just talk about how temperature affects wine.
well, and it's interesting because you say it should be served at 60 to 65, which is what we suggest most red wines, should be served at.
Yeah.
We serve, and I actually think something we struggle with a little bit.
It
here,
is a problem,
'cause
especially in the summer.
we serve our wines a little warm when they sit out, and a little cold when they're in
And
there.
it's a little cold, right. What we really want is 2 fridges. One at about 50, 53, and then one at about 60, 65.
Well, maybe it's time they have those
Dual,
those containers that you set the wines in, and you can set the temperature exactly what you want.
those are really nice.
Yeah, maybe someday.
Those really expensive, fancy
We'll
wineries
put it on
in
the list
California
for
have those.
Christmas, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
We'll
Saint
get it
Nick
for
will bring
Christmas.
it to us.
Saint Nick, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Geraldine's online. Hi, Geraldine.
Hey, Geraldine.
Thanks for joining us.
Oh, Geraldine's here. Oh, look what I found.
Oh, Three
Oh!
Honey. Hey, guess what? She's back to drinking Three Honey again.
She is.
Yes. She asked me to bring her a bottle home the other day. As the first time, I was like, "What? Really? What Three Honey?"
Wow.
She said, "Yeah."
Giving up the
well,
beer?
she kind of stopped drinking wine for a while because
I know.
it wasn't settling well with
Yeah.
her. She was having some heartburn or something, and so she decided to back off wine a little bit and was really exploring beer, which was really fun for me because I
Right, 'cause
enjoy
you guys-
beer.
yeah.
So we're going to breweries now.
Yeah.
She's got a lot more excitement about the different beers, and we're learning what types that she likes.
Oh,
And
it's such a great mead. I love this mead. This Three Honey wine.
I know it's one of our oldest.
You
You've been
know
making it
what?
longer than anything
Soon,
else.
maybe in like 3 weeks or 4 weeks, I'm going to release a not mead that I
Ooh.
made, and it's the best vintage ever.
Is that from last year?
Yeah, it's just this fall. And
Oh,
it's
because
been-
I remember
it's
I
been
was saying,
ready.
could we get some knotweed
It's been
or
ready.
some knot honey?
Yeah, it's been ready.
Okay.
It's been. It turned. It was the fastest, cleanest, freshest ferment I've ever done with honey. It just came together. Ben was sampling it, topping off the barrel, and he's like, "Ken, this tastes great." What And I sampled. I'm like, "Yeah, let's go. Let's prep it and bottle it." So we got the labels in. I got the bottles in. So that's coming out real soon.
That's great.
But in front of that, we're canning some cranberry cider.
Canning. Did you hear that?
That's canning.
Canning. We
With
have a
our own
canning,
canning line.
You know, we need to do a show on the canning line.
Oh yeah.
We schedule
when
a canning.
when we bring it out.
We have to schedule a canning sometime
Yeah.
around a
Yeah.
show and do something with
Yeah.
that.
Well, maybe when we are canning, you can come down. Maybe not on our first event.
Yeah,
It's
it
gonna
might
be a little rough.
A little rough, and it'll be a little loud. So we're gonna have to figure that out. But anyway, we're excited. We have a canning line now. We've been wanting this for a couple of years, but we digress. That gets us off topic. We are here to talk about a little bit more about Aurora. So let's align everything for everybody. Aurora was getting released. The Eclipse was today. In
Yep.
preparation for the Eclipse, we had a concert last night, and everybody at the concert got Eclipse glasses.
Yep.
And got to sample our brand new Aurora, and we heard from the band CATWOLF, which was this really wild,
Rockin'.
really rockin',
Yeah.
out there, really mystical kind of.
Yeah. It was really cool.
Yeah, it seemed to align well with the mood of.
We're all
of an
gonna
Eclipse.
die.
That's one of their songs. We're all gonna die. Yep, and it's true. There's no doubt about
And
it.
we are another human being.
And we can celebrate this.
Yeah, it's
Right?
really
Because
great.
we are all humans, and we are all going to die,
Yeah.
and we don't have to be angry about it or anything,
Yeah.
because it was just the
Yeah.
way it is. And that's how they sang the song. It was just we're all.
It reminded me a little bit of Edie Bicknell. But
Yeah, there was a lot of influences in their
Came
music
through.
that were really interesting. Yeah. I
Sort of
can't wait to see where they
bohemian.
go. They've only been together 3 years.
Wow. And they have 2 albums out.
2 albums, yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
hot on the trail. They're taking a tour of the South now.
Wow.
So that was fun.
That was
Sorry
fun.
if you missed the
That was
show.
a lot of fun.
Lots of great shows coming up. If you missed that one, there's shows. Go to our music page, and you can see we have shows booked out to the end of May, or actually there's one in June that we have booked as well. We're working on filling out the schedule for the rest of the year, so hopefully people can be a little more planful about their music listening
Their summertime activities.
experience. I'm excited. We connected with a new artist that somebody turned me on to, and I was told, well, you'll never get that artist here. they're just too big. And I reached out. They called me back like in 10 minutes, and we got to talk. And so we have I'm not going to reveal anything yet because we don't have anything nailed down.
It's that space upstairs. The musician, every musician that comes and plays here, goes away going, "Can we come back?"
Yeah.
Every one of us like,
Yeah.
"This was great. I love the experience. I love the atmosphere. I love the people. When can we come back?" And that's was the goal, right? I mean, we wanted to create something that was attractive and supportive to the artist.
So in a sense, and I'm thinking a lot about this, the music is sort of, to me, what wine is to you. I feel like I'm crafting an experience that has multiple levels of appreciation, right? And nuance. And you're crafting wine, and so we're figuring out together how do we craft this experience, and so it feels right. It feels like
you got the audible music, I got the liquid music,
and we're working together to make the two sing.
And then Sweets is doing the food music.
And now Sweets is doing the food, which we neither of us want to do.
Right, neither of us are passionate about that stuff. He's uber passionate about it.
If you haven't met Sweets, you will see. He's maybe even more passionate about his food than we are about our wine.
Yeah, he's definitely very, very energetic.
But
very excited about it all.
That's what's exciting about this time for us. That the music venue's starting to really. I think I need some more wine. Little rinse, maybe. Yeah. What is this? Winnie White.
This is Winnie White. We're almost out of this. We're almost out of 3 whites. But you know, it's what it is. That's what happens.
The wine business.
It's the wine business. And there will be no Winnie White until 2025. There will be no Ozark until 2025.
Well, that's just next year. That's nothing.
Yeah,
you
that's
talk
one
like
way to
that's a
look at
long way off. I mean, just blink.
I know. I'm a geologist.
Yeah, I know.
I get it. I didn't even, it's like Chuck taking off from Tokyo and landing before he left. That's what I feel about my whole life. I'm dead before I was born. It can go that way.
That's
from
pretty
a
fast.
Geologic time frame.
Yeah. Backwards?
Well, it could seem backwards because it happens so fast.
So anyway, we're in a really great place right now because Ken and I have had more of an opportunity to focus on this wine and the music side.
Right, and watch
Sweets,
all of the great
and Sweets is really leaning in heavy into the food and all of the food related areas of our business and enjoying working together with us as we are with him to learn how to make the two come together in a symbiotic way. And of course, it all adds up with the music. So we, on last night we had the wine and the food and the music and a lot of happy people listening to it. So it's a great time and place for us at the winery, and we really look forward to having all of you in. And we're getting ready to release our club. So just
yes, indeed.
You have the wines for the club. Good. Oh, I'm glad you brought those. Smart.
Ben and I made up a couple hundred of these today.
Oh, nice.
Getting ready for the 20th.
So if you didn't know, the club release is scheduled for October 20th.
Not October. You're jumping way
October,
in the future.
that's fall. That was when the fall one was. I'm sorry, April 20th. April 20th. And if you didn't get the email, we've also scheduled a club release party.
Yes.
We used to do something a little bit closer to what might be a club release party earlier on, but as we grew and the volume of the people in this tasting room grew, we had a harder and harder time differentiating between club members and guests.
Right.
So it kind of went away, and then of course 2020 happened. But this will be the first time we're going to bring. It's sort of like our Christmas party, but without the Christmas. Right. It's just a time to get together with you folks. We already have a bunch of people signed up.
This is through our website on Eventbrite, or how does it?
It's on Eventbrite. You sent the link around to Eventbrite.
Sent the link around, okay.
And people are signing up through Eventbrite, so we know how many people are coming. And so you want to come and you're a club member, you need to let us know if you didn't get the link. We'll send it to you. Yep. You can only sign up on it if you have the link. You can't just go to Eventbrite and see it. It's a private event. Okay. So we'll send another email out, don't you worry. There'll be a couple more going out before we do the release. We have 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
There'll be at least one or two.
I think there's one more right before. Because we've already sent out the email about, hey, it's coming up on the 20th, and hey, update your credit card stuff.
And I'll send out a contact email that
Okay.
updates people about other things going on as well. So
Do we give people a sneak peek?
yeah, let's do it. We're gonna do our
What's
video.
that?
after this, so.
It's Lake House White.
Mhm.
What's that? That's strawberry rhubarb. What's that? That is petite blue. Haven't had petite blue in a
It hasn't been in the club in a while.
Yeah, no, I brought it back. And this is the new vintage of Red Scare, the 21 vintage of Red Scare.
Mm. You know, I don't think Matt's here. He's
And
missing
this
out.
is deep blue. This one, never been
released before. Nobody's ever had this.
No one's ever had. Look at this. It's got black foil. Like there's a champagne cork underneath there. There is a champagne cork underneath there. And this is our 21 vintage of Rosé that was sent to Flag Hill for their special tank to put 5 bars, 70 psi into this bottle. It's like a bomb. So you pop that cork, and there are a million little tiny bubbles that
Like a champagne.
like a champagne.
Yeah. Well, no, it is a champagne,
It
just
is a
not a
champagne.
champagne.
Just
it's not
made in the
Champagne,
traditional-
France.
Procedure.
Yeah.
Right. But that's the club. Very excited about it. The book is at the press.
Yes. I
And,
can't believe that.
I
That the
know,
book
well
is at
done,
the press.
Bob. Well done. Well done, man. You nailed it.
Small miracles. It's a
I mean,
great
we're,
story.
Ben and I are a week ahead of schedule on this.
Wow.
Things are becoming a little more efficient.
Well,
Which
we're
is- we've been
focusing
doing
on
it
the
for a while.
things that
And
we
we're focused
need
on
to
this
be
stuff.
focused
Right.
on instead of having to worry about who's providing service next week or tomorrow or whatever.
Right.
Because Sweets has that handled.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a
And
good thing.
the book, if you're wondering, is going to be about the about our new chef. I dedicated the article to an interview with Sweets to help you learn a little bit about who he is and what he's all about.
Right, for people who are remote that we ship the bags to, the club release to, and the rest of it, not everybody gets the opportunity to come here. When you do, say hello. He's very gregarious. He often comes out and is talking to people and very passionate about his food. Oh, Jen's on? Hey, Jen.
on, yeah.
I wonder if she was closer to totality of the
I don't know.
eclipse
Jen, let
in-
us know.
in Maine.
Were you in total eclipse or just south of it like we were? It's going at an angle, so she
Yeah,
might have
she
been
was.
south of
She's
it.
basically due east of us, so
Yes,
she must have been
probably
south of
passed
it as
south.
well. Yeah.
Maybe they went north.
But they could have traveled. Yeah.
So many people who came into, almost everybody who came into the winery today were people who had decided to come up to see the eclipse from far away, and they got here and they said, yeah, I don't think we want to go into the craziness that's going to
Up
be.
over the notch.
Yeah.
Over the notches, yeah.
So a lot of people said, yeah, we stopped here. We figured 97% was enough.
I can't believe, the people going down I-93 right now, or I-91, or I-95 back south to where it must be just a traffic jam. Just
Yeah.
So many
well,
cars heading
probably a
south.
lot of people stayed the night. Jeff's here too. Hi, Jeff.
Yeah, we're just south. Hey, Jeff.
The woman from the chamber came in today and said that she heard rumors that there were hotels charging $2,000 a night.
$2,000 a bottle right here, Aurora, for the eclipse.
Well,
In fact, $1,500 for you guys. No
somebody
problem.
mentioned, they said, oh, that's terrible. That's terrible.
$2,000.
But you know what? Get it
It's
while you
supply and
can.
demand.
Get it while you can. Those poor businesses are not doing anything else
Right.
right now
Yeah.
because tomorrow they're going to get $65 a night for their rooms.
And have mostly empty rooms.
Just like,
Because there's no skiing.
by the way,
Nice.
anybody out there who needs a pair of Eclipse glasses,
Yeah, we have hundreds.
I have a collection. You get 10 for every bottle of wine you buy. It's a special this week. 10 Eclipse glasses for every bottle. They have the date on them. You could put them in a scrapbook.
That's a lot of scrap.
Yeah, I know. Or we could create, somebody suggested we create some art with them, maybe. Could be interesting.
In all your free time now.
Okay, well, if anybody has any ideas for what we should do with about 150 or 100...
Trash bin.
Yeah.
It's the way the world works. We make stuff.
We could
use
save them.
stuff,
There's going to
and
be
we
another
throw
eclipse
it
in
away.
40 years. I said that to somebody else, and they said, no, these need to be thrown away after 6 years. They're not safe.
Really? The Mylar starts to fall apart
I
or
guess,
something?
yeah. So you can't keep them for the next eclipse unless you're traveling. Where's the next one? Maybe there's one sooner.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
You think there is somewhere around the world? Another
Oh
one?
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it happens all the time.
Really?
Yeah, people travel for it. I don't know how frequent it is, but I'm sure someone up there can look it up in
Let us
their
know.
AI. How frequently is there a total solar eclipse?
So Philip's here. Matt couldn't make it, but Philip
In
is
Arizona.
brother. He's in Arizona. Yeah. Did you see the eclipse in Arizona? Were you in the path? I think not. I think you were further north from it in Arizona, northwest of it.
Yeah, I forget.
See, the
what
path started
track
in
was.
Texas.
Yeah,
It's
came
Texas
across
through
Texas.
the Midwest.
Across New York, Vermont, and New Hampshire.
Jeff says there's a donation for South America for later this year. Maybe there's a typo.
Yeah. Or an eclipse
Yeah.
down there.
And the eclipse classes are only good for 3 years, from what I understand. So we
Definitely throwing them
we've
away.
been corrected. 3 years we've thrown away. No, but we might be able to make some art, or they're available. They have the date right on the side. So anybody who's looking, if they didn't, because a lot of them I heard don't have the date.
You know, in 2050, you can sell those on eBay,
Maybe.
and you might make some money. So you should hang on to them, Bob.
Yeah, you know me too well, don't you? But a lot of people who came in today asked me for a pair because they said the pair they had didn't have the date on them.
Oh.
So they may still have value to people who
This
want
has
that
the date on it.
That has the date? No way.
On the back of it. Of course.
Where?
Right there. Commemorative of the eclipse. Of course.
How can you put the date on it? Did that get approved?
We got it approved. Didn't you read it? You said it to the TTV.
I did, but there's a lot of things
I
going on.
put it in commemoration of the solar eclipse of April 8th,
So it is
2024.
currently our only wine as a vintage.
It's it's not telling you the date of the wine. This is just
I know.
telling you about this is in
But
commemoration
it is the vintage.
of today.
It's the vintage.
So, and we have 150 of these left. We
I have a great idea.
oh, you get a pair of glasses with that.
No. No, from now on, let's make every wine commemorative of something happening that year.
So that we get a date on the bottle. There you go.
That's a good idea. I mean, there's something to
Well,
commemorate.
we got to reprint them though.
No, that's true.
So this petite blue
Was using labels
could be
that we
used on a
for couple
21 or a
years.
22 vintage.
Yes, that's right. Well, that is why we went to the
That's
known,
why we
'cause
went to that.
We did have a little sneaky way of having the date on there before.
I was changing, but then we still had to print them.
Yeah.
And then we would have not enough or too many.
So what we do tell everybody, and if you are not aware of this, you should be, that if you buy our wines with any intention of keeping them longer than a few months, you should make sure to put somehow the date on the bottle before. Use a Sharpie on the label, or use a glass writing pen on the glass, or tag it or tape it or something.
That's what we do.
So that
yeah.
you know, yeah, we do. That's what I do in my cellar downstairs. Is tag the wines, make sure that I have a date. Or you can use cellar software that can help you with that. But you still need to label the bottle, even with cellar software. You can't-
Yeah. Yep, that's good. Yeah, I'm very excited about this club release. We'll be pouring these wines, of course, at on Saturday, the release day, and then carry that on for a while. And on Sunday, for the party, the gathering, we will have all these wines open as well.
Yes, along with probably some library wines like we do every year.
Yes, and we'll have a raffle. We'll give away some precious, tasty things, probably.
Yeah, and we'll have a piano player again. Chris
Very
Meek is
good.
going to be there to play
Oh, great.
piano for us.
Great.
Always nice. So, and it'll be nice. The room will be bright and light and airy because it'll be.
Because it's not December.
It won't be. It's not December. It's not the dead and
It's
dark
in the
of
evening,
winter.
right? Are we doing it Sunday evening, or is it in the
Sunday
afternoon?
evening at 5 to 6, I think, maybe 6 to 7.
So it's after it's closed, so that
5:30 to
it's private,
6:30.
just for club members?
Yes.
Yeah. Good,
Yeah.
good, great. I'll look forward to that. That should be a lot of fun.
Winnie White's delicious.
You know what? Yeah, it's really progressed nicely. It's softened.
It's so
It's
sad
so-
and it's gone.
I know, it's gone. But that's good. It goes, it gets consumed, we get to enjoy it,
Well,
and then off it
I
goes.
talk about this all the time. You never buy a wine by its vintage or bottle because you're never going to find that wine again. Like Winnie White. It's
Right.
going to be gone,
It's gonna
and
be
there
gone.
won't be another one exactly like this
And
one.
even if it's the same wine, like this is Red Scare, but this Red
It's
Scare
gonna be
is different than
It
the
is.
previous
We,
one.
we explored that last
I
time.
know, that was fun.
That was really fun.
How about
I went home after that. I told you this. Wait a minute. I went home after that event 2 weeks ago. We did the show on Red Scare, and I brought the 21 Red Scare home
Yep.
and the partial bottle, and I noticed that I had had a Tuscan wine, Italian Tuscan
Oh, you
wine,
told me about this.
Yeah. open from the night before, that I had a glass and a half left of it over. And I thought, well, no time like the present. And oftentimes, Sweets has been suggesting that the Red Scare reminds him of a Chianti. So I hadn't heard that, or hadn't felt that before. So this was a Chianti, Chianti Classico. And I poured the two into a glass side by side, and I was shocked.
You
I
were
was
telling me
shocked.
you couldn't really tell the difference.
It was hard to tell the difference, and so this is interesting. So
Interesting.
Geraldine, she doesn't not like the Red Scare, but it's not her favorite wine. She tends to like white wines.
Yeah.
The mead, you obviously know, 300 is her favorite. But Geraldine's not a fan of Red Scare, so I thought this is a perfect opportunity, because she did like the Chianti.
Tuscan.
Yeah,
Chianti.
she absolutely liked the Tuscan. So she was in the shower or doing something else while I was experimenting with these two wines. And I remember I called you right away because I was
Yeah.
so pleased with
Yeah.
how these wines align. They still had their own,
How vinous they were.
how vinous they were, and how consistent they were in terms of their mouthfeel and,
Yeah.
and the kinds of classic characteristics that we appreciate in a wine. So anyway, that was a really eye-opener for me. So when Geraldine came into the kitchen, I had poured 2 glasses for her and hid the bottles. And I didn't even tell her what I was doing. She didn't know anything about it. She just saw, I said, "Here, Geraldine, would you mind come try these 2 wines and tell me
Yeah.
what you think?" And so she's swirling and tasting and had no idea. And I said, "So what do you think? Do you have a preference? Which one?" And she liked the Red Scare. I almost fell over. I was like, "You're kidding." Over the Chianti. It was totally blind.
Well, we haven't done a blind test with the Red Scare. We've done it with the Hermitage a number of times, and we did a vertical
We did a blind
tasting of
with it.
Red Scare here, and we had a couple of Burgundies.
Yes.
But we didn't do like we did the Hermitage, where you get 6 wines, all from numbered carafe. You have no idea what they are. And one of them is Red Scare, and everything else is different, but commercial grape-based wines. We should do that this summer, or this coming fall. I think it would be really great.
So we are going to do that. You just said it. We had a Hermitage tasting. It was a huge success. We had 28 people come, and it was a lot of fun. So let's put it on the books. Let's find a
let's do
time
that.
and put a date.
Yep.
We're going to do a Red Scare
Red Scare blind taste.
blind taste
Yep.
with other Burgundies.
And we'll score it. We'll do the same thing. We'll teach everybody how to swirl and sniff and score.
Yep.
And then we'll do a big reveal.
It's a lot of fun. I
It's a
learned
blast.
something.
Yeah.
Every time we do this event, I learn something about
I
wines.
learned that the Hermitage is more like a West Bank Bordeaux than it is a Chianti. I always thought it was more like a Chianti. We had 2
You have me to
Classicos
thank for that.
in there. And it's so much more like that Merlot-based Bordeaux. I mean, you couldn't even tell the difference. I mean, it was so close. It was amazing.
I picked the wrong one.
It was awesome. I mean, that's great. That's when, what we're doing really works. We're able to take what grows here and make wines that are reminiscent of what we know as wines based on grapes that grow well elsewhere, which
Yep.
is just so satisfying, so fun. It's great.
It is. So we have a comment. Will there be food pairings from Megan with these wines? And actually, Sweets is really excited about the food and the pairing. So with every food he prepares, he makes time to discover which wines pair well with it, and we note that on the menu.
It is, and they're incredible too. I mean, there's some of these pairings. When he first did this, when he was first here and he was coming up with some of his food, and he and I sat here and he tasted through some wines and he took notes, and then he went back and he created his menu, and he was doing
He nailed it.
This banh mi, this grilled bread, pate, bacon jam, pork belly, jalapeno aioli, pickled veggies, wine pairing hermitage. And I'm like, that's
No
just
way.
crazy. There's no way that's going to work with pate and
But how would
pork
you know
belly,
what that taste
jalapeno.
was going to like?
Well, I just sort of thought that
Yeah.
wasn't going to work.
I agree.
And then it
did.
nailed it. It worked perfectly. It was great. So every one of his entrees that he comes up with, he has a recommended pairing, which I recommend you follow because it really works well. It's great.
Well, he's a chef.
Yeah.
He's a real chef. He knows his stuff. He knows his tastes, and it's fascinating. He picks up things, nuances sometimes that I don't get.
Me too.
And
Same with
relationships.
Ben comes from the beer world, and he's now helping to make all these wines, and he's learning, and he's using language and terms that, same thing, pulling out flavors that are difficult to articulate. But he's got a palate for beer and the way to talk about it, and Sweets has a palate for food and knows how to talk about it.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of fun. They cross-talk as well.
And this was the first menu that Sweets came up with, and he's about to release his second.
I know.
And if you want to come to the winery for food right now, this is the time, because he's got special menus that are longer than this, because he's trying out his new menu items.
It's like every time I'm like, I haven't even tried all of those
Oh,
as a
there's so
separate
much I
meal.
haven't
I've
tried.
sampled them all, but I've never tried all of them as a separate meal. And then last night, Maya and I had two of the specials because we wanted to try them.
How were they?
They were great.
Oh, good.
They were really good.
Good.
Yeah. It was just, and I watched him make the mole that he was going to put with the Loon chocolate and all that
Oh,
stuff.
when we were at Loon Chocolate, so Sweets encouraged me to go down to Loon to do an interview with the owners of Loon, because he's excited about the partnership that we have with Loon. We sell their chocolate like crazy, and they come up for events, and he wants to use their chocolate in his food, and he's trying to create a chocolate partnership. So he wants them to create a chocolate with our wine.
Yeah, he was talking to me about the sort of fruit, the sort of flavors,
Yeah.
and what kind of would work well with a chocolate bar.
So we came back from Loon Chocolate with this chunk, this massive. I was a little jealous because it went into the kitchen. I didn't get to take it home. It was this. I mean, wasn't like looked like
No,
chocolate.
that went into
like
the mole.
No, I know, but it didn't look like chocolate that like they would be prepared to put on a retail shelf. But that's what I liked about it. It's just this raw hunk of chocolate, and you could break off a piece and enjoy it. And they make great chocolate. It was really fun to go down and experiment, see what they do, and see how chocolate is made. I've never known how.
Hey,
There's a video coming out about that.
You should do a little Facebook Live tomorrow. Where are we going tomorrow?
We are. We're bringing. Well, I don't know. Well, maybe we'll go live.
Why
Yeah,
don't
that's
you
a
do
good
a
idea.
Facebook Live tomorrow?
We also
'Cause
are
that's
gonna-
kind of fun because we're going to have Ben and Sweets and you and I.
And Sweets and I, under Sweets creation, it's Sweets idea. I'm just going along, tagging along with the camera. But Sweets has got a TV program coming. Well, it's not for television, but it's going to be it's going to be made like a television program. It's inspired by a television program, where he wants to start telling the stories of all of our relationships with all of our partners.
Perfect. Great.
And it's coming. He's already built the first episode connected to the chocolate.
I saw
And-
that. It's awesome.
Yeah, and so after he gets a handful of episodes, we're going to build a half an hour episode that shows our relationship with a handful of organizations in the area. So it's going to be fun. So we're going to Stoneface on Tuesday. We're going to film that and talk
Sounds
about
like you're having fun.
it. I know. It's great.
That's good.
That's why we're
Very
here.
good.
If I'm not having fun, I'm not going to be here much longer. Good
No,
night.
no, you're going to be here. You say it every night. It's an incredible performance. Until you die, you're going to be up there doing your music.
As long as they keep coming.
I know.
If they don't come, though, I won't be having any fun. Sitting there by myself.
I know, right?
So Matt's here. Matt, welcome. He's in New York. Did you get to see the full? You went to
Maybe
New
he
York
went to
because
go
he
see
went
a
to see
total.
the total eclipse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's helping us Frogwa with Red Scare, of course.
Yes, very good. He has a pairing here with Red Scare. Let's see what it is. Oh, south to north. So this was Sweet's original lunch menu. Was a 2 buttermilk biscuits, pimento cheese dip, flaming hot Cheetos crunch, and honey. And that paired with Red Scare. And he also had a evening entree, a dinner entree called Classy and Trashy, which I have had in totality for dinner, and it's fantastic. It's handmade linguine, and then chili carbonara sauce, burrata, and potato chip crumble. So he makes his potato chips, he crushes a bunch of potato chips, to mix in with his handmade.
It's a nice crunch on the
pasta.
top. I like the way it
I know,
works.
and it tastes great, and it works perfect with the Red Scare.
And Quack Attack. Guess what that is? Only one guess. Quack Attack. I love this one too. Shark boards.
Yeah, shark boards.
So you know, and we've been experiencing this for years because we've had charcuterie for years as a menu item, and nobody can pronounce charcuterie.
Yeah.
I couldn't for years either, so I get it. But people would come like, I want a shark board or charcut board or who knows all the things that people came in with. So he came up with the name shark board because a lot of people just called it that. You have those sharks
Right.
boards or whatever? Shark boards.
And oysters.
And oysters, yes.
Isn't that amazing? And a lot of people order oysters. Have you seen that? We sell through a lot of oysters.
I didn't know
We get bins of oysters.
I don't
in
know
there.
why I don't eat more
They
of them.
get shipped here on ice. And they
I
show
need
up.
to eat more oysters.
They're every day. I look at the sales.
Have you had
of
them?
various things. Oh yeah, yeah. He does them either cooked or raw.
Wow.
And the raw are really nice. He puts this little garlicky sour. He loves making his own pickles, so he creates these little.
His pickles are delicious.
His pickles are great.
Yeah. Hey, Matt said Phil Plummer to autograph his page on the Carlo DeVito book.
Ah, very good.
You know, Matt, we'd be happy to autograph the page in Carlo
Our
DeVito's
page?
book.
For our page.
I bet she's already thought of that, though.
I know. I assume so.
Yeah.
He'd rather have a barrel of Red Scare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Megan's talking about kayaking soon. I'm not sure what that's in reference to,
Ah, good.
but I agree. It's almost time.
I mean, it's warm. I rode my motorcycle today. It's nice out. It's
She
really
says
nice out.
it's first week of May for kayaks.
Oh, she's having a conversation with Matt.
Yes. That's it. I agree.
That's
First week
great.
of May sounds good to me. I'm not going to put my kayak. I'm going to put a rowboat on though. Probably. I'll do both. But.
I know you like your rowing thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. So tomorrow morning, Bob and Ben and Sweets and I are going to Stoneface Brewery to pick up a couple of barrels.
Just two.
Just two. That's all we need. Just two.
Yep.
And these barrels started off with port in them. So these were port barrels. I don't know if they originated in Portugal or Spain, but they had port wine in them.
Yep.
And then they came.
Excuse me. If they had port wine in them,
They have to come from
Portugal.
Right, so they should have come from Portugal.
Not should have.
They must have.
They have to. If they had port in them,
Yes.
they came from Portugal.
So we're getting some
Do you know
barrels
why?
from Portugal because that is the law.
It's the law. It's the only
That
place
is
you
the
can make
law.
port.
So port barrels that started off in Portugal, 100%, went to Stoneface and had a Baltic Porter beer put in. And that Baltic Porter is going to be pumped out of those barrels tomorrow when we're there. And we're going to bring those barrels right here. And Ben and I have a new red wine that's going into those port barrels. So it's a new collab, very excited about that. And with Sweets and Bob there with their cameras doing all their thing,
We're documented.
we're going to have some fun documenting.
There's going to be some fun videos. I've already seen the beginnings of his video of our chocolate visit. And it's good interviews, and it's just fun. Sweets
Yeah.
comes up with some fun videos if you
Well,
haven't
he's going to
seen.
hit it off with Dan Kiesel,
Oh,
the
sure.
brewer over there. They're just like Ben. They're
Same
all from the
age.
same thread.
Yeah.
You know, Ben stopped by there a week or two ago and stopped in and said hi and talked to them and had some beers.
Yeah,
It's
no,
great.
it's going to be a good day.
It's a great community.
There'll be something on Facebook tomorrow. I don't know what we'll do, but we'll probably go live for a few minutes. And
And then tomorrow
if you're
evening-
subscribed on
That's
Facebook
right.
or
See, that's
YouTube,
what it's
you
all
will know
about.
exactly when we go live because we'll get notice.
And then we're going to come back from that about midday, and Maya and I are going up to Mount Washington cog rail.
I'm almost a little jealous that you're
It's
going
so
to do this because
awesome.
they just rebuilt that mid station. I did some reading about that.
Oh.
That mid station was really
And I've
nothing.
never been on the cog rail.
Right.
I've never been up to the base station of the cog rail.
And the last time I rode the cog rail up Mount Washington, that Wambach station that you're
Yeah.
referring to was just a place to get off and on. There was a little building there with tools and stuff in it, but there was nothing there. but they just did some work. I don't know what it is now, what it looks like, but it's been remodeled and rebuilt.
We're gonna know tomorrow evening. So Maya and I are gonna be there.
So this is
pouring some wine.
this is important. This is a
It's a
major
big thing.
conference that happens every 4 or 5 years in New Hampshire. It's the New England
What's it called? Destination?
destination. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't remember the name. Discover New England.
Discover New England.
The organization is Discover New England. And
That's right. It's all of New England. It's
it's-
not just New Hampshire, not just Maine,
Right.
not just Vermont.
It's a partnership with
yeah.
all of the tourism agencies and organizations across New England, and they formed this organization called Discover New England, and their whole purpose is to help bring people from around the world, to help them discover us, to help them realize all the good things that are going on here in New England. So this conference is held once a year, and it rotates through all the New England states. So it's only every, what, 5? Is it 5?
Something like that, yeah.
It's Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Maine,
That's
and
right.
New
New
Hampshire.
York is on it. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
it's 5 states. So there's, oh, I'm glad I got that right. Been here all my life.
Want some more wine?
Yeah, I do actually. I'm empty. What do we have now?
I like this. You know, this is Monday, and
Monday, fun day.
Monday, our food side of the business is closed, as is Tuesday, as is Wednesday. Wednesday they open it up for lunch, but not dinner. So the wines that they serve during the week for food, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, get left as partials. And so Monday we have these partials.
We have to drink.
to enjoy. We have to drink this. And this is the elderberry.
I haven't had this in a
So
long
we're
time.
going to go from the sparkling rosé to the elderberry. I haven't had this in a long time either.
This is a great opportunity. This Monday night show.
I'm
try new
kind of liking
things.
this. I'm always upset when there's partial wines around
There's a reason for
because I
it.
don't want them to go to waste.
They're not.
But they're not going
We're
to waste.
enjoying them.
Yeah, this is very good. So,
So-
tomorrow evening, it's great.
So
'cause
Explore New England happens once every 5 years in New Hampshire, and we have been invited to present our wines along with some other great places like Tamworth
Reckless,
Distillery and Reckless
Tamworth.
Brewery, and yeah. So Ken's going to be up there with Maya sharing our wines with people traveled who have come to this conference from all over the world.
Yeah.
And simultaneously with that, which is kind of fun, not simultaneously actually, the next day, which I hope you're able to be here for some of it, there's a group of 5 or 6 travel and tourism writers
That's
from
the
around the
FAM
world.
thing, right?
Yes, it's a FAM tour. It's a familiarization tour.
So
and
that's
they're
separate
coming
from
to the winery.
Discover New England.
No, it's put on. So these are people that came to the conference, and the state of New Hampshire said, "Well, you guys are going to be in town. We need to take you around and show you in person what New Hampshire has to
Very
offer."
good. Very good.
So they contacted some of the venues, and we're always pleased to be
There's only
contacted.
10 or 12 venues there tomorrow night. We're one of 12
Right.
in the state
Right.
that got invited to be
And
there.
then we're one of a handful that got invited for this FAM tour. Because
right.
these FAM tours are great opportunities. I've met some really cool people from all over the world whose purposes, I mean, their job, they're in tourism, they write about tourism, they write about travel for travel magazines, and they want to learn about what the experiences are so that they can go home and say, hey, if you're in England
Right. Well,
and
it's
you
like
want to
you,
go
it's
to
like
New
you
England.
and I, if we look up, you looked up Italy and you wanted to find out some things. So somehow you got that information.
I went
through-
right to Ray Isle,
Well,
at
you-
Food and Wine magazine.
I know.
But see, that's
you get-
just it.
But
The-
you had a connection. Most people are out there. They hit Google and they see tourism promotional information that's getting. This is where this information comes from.
Exactly.
People
But
doing
you know
this
what? I did have a connection, but that didn't really, at the end of the day, mean much because Food and Wine magazine, Ray Isle works for Food and Wine, he just was able to easily collect the information from his magazines
Right.
and deliver it to me. It turns out that the information he shared with me at one point or another was shared in a story about traveling to Italy. So, I mean, that's what they do. They talk about this. So Food and Wine might go to a conference like Discover New England in Italy and learn about what's happening there, and then they come back and write about it here and send us Americans over to Italy to go enjoy these these fun experiences. So the people who are coming to our FAM tour are the Ray Isles of England and France and European countries who want to tell their country people about what to do if they decide to come to America. Which is always kind of interesting.
It's
or
good.
not
So
always,
this
but
is really, it's really fun because they're going to come to these groups that are coming to this Discover New England are coming to Mount Washington. They're going up the Cog Rail. They're going to have Tamworth Distillery which makes all sorts of unique, fantastic stuff. They're going to have common man food, which really is kind of a archetypal restaurant chain in this state, which is great. And then they're going to have
Your wine.
funky stuff, which is great.
Funky.
Funky.
Funky. This is
Well,
good
it's
stuff.
it's non-traditional.
Non-traditional. I'll give you
Non-traditional.
that.
Right.
So
this elderberry is really
I was
softened
just,
out
I
nicely,
was just
isn't
going
it?
to say.
It's really, you know,
This is terrible. 'Cause
elderberry.
We're pouring
elderberry
all
is-
these wines, and all these poor folks at home don't get to know what we're.
Well,
they can come in.
any
There you
time.
go.
Here we are. We love to share, and here are the wines. But this, you know, when I make these wines, a lot of the wines, when they're young, they're rough. They're disjointed. They're like a teenager.
They need to age.
They're all
Well, you
pimply,
make them that
they're
way.
all- They're just doing their thing, and then they come together. Now, some of them, you know, they come together right away. That's the way they are.
Yeah,
The witty
they're
white,
meant to
the-
be
the
that way.
Crabapple, but the elderberry, the hermitage, the red scare, they take some time. They just take some time, and there's no way to speed it up. But waiting makes it work.
Yeah.
It's really softened out nicely. Lost some of that really
Edginess.
edgy
Yeah.
funk,
Yeah.
earthy funk.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's actually delicious. I look forward to trying this in another 5 years.
That's drinking really nice. Really nice.
What year is this?
19. Yes, 19.
We go look at the shelf.
And then I have the 20, and that's the last vintage I have.
Because we didn't get elderberries last year.
No, it's because I've kind of moving on to other stuff. It's really hard, because this is really good. I really like it. But there's, you know, just like stuff I made in the past. We had a harvest apple wine, which was a really great, fun, easy drinking wine.
But you still got to bring elderberries here, because you make.
I bring in
Hermitage.
elderberries. I still make Hermitage,
Yeah.
but I co-ferment.
Yeah.
I don't do them separately like I used to. And the co-fermenting, once you get a chance to try the 20 Hermitage, you'll see why I'm doing it that way going forward.
Well, this has always been fascinating as you've grown as a winemaker over the last years. You know, I watch these experiments, and this is, you know, it's a 1,000-foot view for me. I watch you from afar.
Yeah, see, I don't see it.
seeing-
I'm in the weeds.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
I
doing
see
all
this
stuff.
changing in the learning that's happening as you shift in some ways tectonic shifts
Good
relative.
geologic term, and
Yeah,
I like that. Very
see?
nice. Thank you.
Well, it is. It's because you go from these, you know.
There's an orogeny
You
going on here.
usually have very clear ideas about what you're trying to do and what you're trying to create, and you're very you get behind them, and you have to. I mean, you can't pursue
Right,
something
right.
unless you get
There's a
passionate about
concept.
it.
There's a
It's a
concept.
concept, and you're going to pursue it, and it's going to work, and it's going to make sense, and
Ben and I talked about that while we were building bags today, about the kiwi berry. So we were going over the interview with Iago and the different varieties of kiwi, and I was talking about the timing of peaches and rhubarb and kiwi berries, and how we get past that, how we do our different experiments. And one of them was to co-ferment. I've always made Meredith Bay White. Peach and rhubarbs come ripe far before the kiwi berries do. So I ferment those, then I ferment the kiwis, then I blend to make that wine. That's the way I used to do the Hermitage. But then once I put all those things together and fermented them, same ratios, the co-fermenting process creates different flavor profiles and different mouthfeel. So I've got to try that with the Meredith Bay.
Well, the trends that I've seen in the last 5 years is co-fermenting is becoming more the thing. You're doing more co-fermenting now, or trying to. There's
Yeah.
still some wines that you can't.
Yeah, there's some that I can't.
Because of the
Right.
when the fruit comes ripe. But the other thing you're doing is more barrel. More
Yeah,
and
a
more
lot more
things
barrels.
are going into barrel. I mean, I was shocked when I heard strawberry rhubarb went into barrel.
Well, that's
But-
a different one. That's not this strawberry.
No, I know.
This one.
But you're experimenting.
Oh, yeah.
You can't learn unless you try.
Right.
And I've always sort of felt intuitively that that's where we needed to be. Because I've always felt like as you've gone into barrels, I'm always more appreciative of the outcomes when you come out of a barrel.
Yeah.
And
When
so-
I come out of the barrel, it's better. So, very exciting thing coming up on Sunday.
By the way, Chuck's
also.
here.
What's that?
Chuck's here.
Chuck's here?
Yeah.
I don't even see him.
He's right there.
Where's Chuck?
He's
I
right
see him.
there.
He's on the wall. Oh, there he is.
Oh,
There he is.
Right
He's
behind
chasing
you.
the bottle
yeah.
up on the
Oh,
bike.
He's on the ladder.
Oh, he's on the ladder. Hi, Chuck. Talking about all these notes, all these experiments. So we're doing a vertical tasting of Petit Blue Reserve this
Yes,
Sunday,
It's sold out.
and it's sold out.
That's cruel. We're letting everybody
Which
know
is great.
it's
We'll do it
experience.
again.
We'll do it again.
Oh, we're back. And no weird thumbs up in the middle of the screen today. Ah!
Thumbs up. Wait a minute. We're having an internet problem. Know why?
Oh,
Sorry, folks. The tech crew is it's not on their game.
that was spot on.
Stop it. There may
Before.
There we are. We're back. We should be back now.
Okay.
Come on. We're still frozen. Maybe they can hear us.
Smiling there.
You're frozen.
You're getting some text. Yes, we're frozen.
Oh, wait. Wait. Are we good? Let us know if we're good. We've rebooted. We have live internet. I brought this cable down here for a reason.
I know. Are you sure it's?
I'm never sure of anything. Not even sure if I put the cable on.
Uh-oh. It all disappeared?
No, I'm just grabbing
Going
the
to
internet. There, I'm sure. We have internet now. We can hear you, but we're still frozen.
Okay. Yeah, there's no video feed.
Oh, I wonder if
What, did your camera
camera
disconnect
went
somehow?
out. Something
Is
happened.
it out of batteries?
Hold on, folks. We've only got a couple minutes left. Oh, we're frozen here too.
See y'all next week.
No, wait, wait. We got it. We gotta get this back.
Wow, that elderberry is really drinking great.
I'm gonna inspect. This is probably not a good idea.
See y'all next week.
No. Wait a minute, folks. We're just technical difficulties here.
Technical difficulties. Bob's working on it. I'm just going to keep filling his glass. I'll keep talking to you.
Well, it says it still get a signal here, so I don't know what's going on.
We don't know what's going on. Sorry.
Well,
At
anyway,
least we're both smiling
you know
when we're
what time it is?
froze. You know.
It's 6:30.
Yeah, it's already time.
So it froze at just the right time. We'll have to go.
Maybe they're not getting us anymore.
They're all laughing. We're frozen.
No, that's a good way to
It's a
end.
good view. Take a screenshot. It's it's 6:30. It's the time for the end of our show.
That's it. That's
We're going to take a screenshot. We'll share it with you, and I also will share my Eclipse video. Thank you for joining us for yet another Monday
Thank you
night.
all.
This was fun. I had
Maybe
a
we'll
great
see you
time.
tomorrow. We're going to be at Stoneface.
Stoneface, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
go live tomorrow if you're around. I know Matt's going to be at Corning doing a tour of Corning Glass.
Oh, cool.
So he might not make
We
it.
rode
but
past there
I know.
this summer.
We did. So cheers, everybody. Have a great
Cheers.
day. We'll see you next week with some topic or another. And since we do have sound, we will
Play at the closing.
camera's sitting right here.